少年よ神話になれ青い風が今胸のドアを叩いても私だけをただ見つめて微笑んでるあなたそっと触れるもの求めることに夢中で運命さえまだ知らない痛いけな瞳だけどいつか気づくでしょうその背中には遥か未来目指すための羽があること残酷な天使の手で窓辺からやがて飛び立つほとばしる熱いパトスで思い出を裏切るならこの空を抱いて輝く少年よ神話になれ
Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Into the Swamp. And with me today, as per usual, God of Hacks, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. We have won the regular split, so that feels good. My team has been smurfing while I've been getting eaten by Benjamin. God bless. But yeah, feeling pretty good. It's Monday, it's playoffs, it's pretty hype.
Perfect. Okay, so before anyone comments on this, my microphone is really bad this week, so you guys will have to bear with me. It broke last Friday, so hopefully the sound is at least tolerable to listen to. If it's too loud or too low, I can try and fix it a bit. Just hit me up. Anyways, Axe, what an end to the split we had. You talked me through your week, most important. You came in as number one into this week, and how did it feel going up against Vitagen Diamond and what are they called? The Villain, I think.
So for the Vitaden Diamond squad, I mean, they play a very, can you call it whack rave style? Very front to back type style. And I feel like we had good advantages in both games. Like we had the early game down in both games, so that felt pretty. Oh well, I trolled second game, early game. We don't talk about it. But we had I think good advantages in early game at least in both games. And then first game we kind of threw. I think we had a pretty solid lead. I haven't looked at the replay, so I don't know for sure. But I feel like we had a pretty solid lead, and we made some mistakes. And then their team comp outranged us to a bit. And then we kind of couldn't get back into the game, it felt like, for a bit.
Yeah, so you would say it's just draft issues in first game.
No, it's not draft issue. We had a lead, and then we just lost it. And then our comp did get outscaled, but I mean, our comp was far ahead, so I don't think it was a draft issue.
Yes.
But yeah, it became rougher in the late game. We still had like angles. We had some fights we could work with, but definitely harder in the late game. And the second game...
Indeed.
We were able to drag them around a bit more with split push, since they play a very like 5-man style, so that was good. And I think split pushing was kind of vital, I guess.
Yes, you did have an insane second game, I gotta say. Even though you got solo killed around 15 times by Benjamin, who everyone believes is the worst top laner in the league. He kind of shut you down, so maybe Benjamin is the best top player in the league. We will have to see that going forward. He did have a bit of a struggle, though, into Casey May's Tam Kench the day after, not gonna lie. Anyway, as you guys probably have noticed, it's only me and Hacks here today. And that's because we have a very, very special occasion today. And it's none other than me and Hacks. We sat down last time we had the podcast. How can we improve this? What can we steal from? So we, first of all, already steal a lot of segments from other podcasts. And we thought, like, why don't we just steal a segment from Mikius as well and take his MVP voting and do it on our own? So that is what we have done this time. We have sat and put our brains together, come forward with some good awards that we have decided to hand out, and we will... that's why we don't have a guest just yet. We will be having 3 guests coming in this week for around 10 to 15-minute interviews, just talking a bit about the playoffs and maybe even talking about those certain awards. But first of all, Hacks, is there, before we go into that about regular season, do you have any takeaway you want to take away from this regular season just overall? Doesn't have to be EB related, could just be anything related.
Like a general takeaway?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess a generalized takeaway, I think the new rules aren't perfect, but I do think the level is, like, there are like top, mid, bottom teams, right? But I still think the level is quite even. So I like the new format, I would say. That is like my biggest takeaway, I guess. There are good things in this new format, I think.
Yes. No. If I had to
I
take
like
one more
something.
thing, it's Into the Swamp podcast, best thing that has ever happened to the SLE. Other than that, I really want to lift off the co-streams we've been seeing on SLE as well,
Oh, yeah.
which is also my thing actually. So I guess I'm just
Yeah, but
praising
we've had
myself at this point.
now, but we've had Sanctuary, right? I think we've had Pete Fish Woof. I've co-streamed a few. I'm not sure if the Estonian, I don't know what they're called. I know we used to have Estonian co-streams. I don't know if you had that this year or this
I think they did
split. I
one.
think they did one, right? Yeah, I think they did.
I'm pretty sure
But
we
it's
had
been
one.
nice.
One Pulva stream for the boys. But yeah, other than that, it's been quite an interesting regular season. We lost some teams on the way. First of all, Primordials. Very sad, but a story that's been on my mind this entire split, and I think everyone has been talking about, and that's why we keep coming back to this one, and we're gonna do a bit of a deep dive here. So a team that has really struggled before we go into the awards is what's happening with White and Pearl. Like, we have to straight up just be honest there. And Hacks, I want you to start me off here. Like, Vitagen Pearl is one of the most accomplished teams in SLE history. What's gone so wrong for them this split? Do you have any take on that?
So it's kind of weird because I think Vitagen are a team that usually like swaps a lot of roles. But I will say, for me personally, I feel like the big issue is that they've been having so many role swaps, lane swaps, player swaps, I think overall, where they're like trying a lot of different things. And it's hard to find, like, even if you're really good players, right? It's gonna be hard to find good consistency doing that, right? Like, I think Ant went from top, he went to mid, and then from mid he went back to support, I think, for some games. And then Trululu, he was mid, went to ADC, and then Balto went top. It's like, it's hard to get a good consistency, right? Because you're always changing up the dynamic. So for me personally, I would say it's probably due to a lot of the role swapping that's been happening. Personally, like, I think it's really hard to find good consistency if you do that.
Yes, because you did not only call out earlier in the split White and Pearl for the role swapping, but you also said that their jungler is the most overrated player in the SLE. Now that they made playoffs, I think they even ended up in 10th. No, there's no way they got 10th. They got like 14th, right? 15th?
I think they got 15th. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay, I will.
is Dutch still the most overrated player in the entire league?
Look here. He's overrated because, as you mentioned, Viti and Pearl are a very, like, what do you call it, decorated team. So obviously he was like right at the top, right? And then he had some really bad games, so it was just very fitting. No, I don't think he's the most overrated player in the league right now, but it was very fitting for the time. I think quite like Wacky, I have the similar opinion of them. I think Pearl will kind of scale into the playoffs. I feel like they just get better as the season goes on. I don't know if it's because they take like a full-on break and they start playing when the season is going, or because they just get more invested when the playoffs are about like start basically. I'm not sure why, but I feel like both Wacky and Pearl are kind of dark horses in a sense. Or not dark horses, I mean Wacky's at the top of the league.
I was gonna, didn't they get second? I don't know if that's a dark horse actually.
No, but Pearl are. But I mean, I feel like they will get a lot better, both of those teams, in playoffs.
Yes, I agree with that. I'm sorry for the ASMR podcast. I'm doing my best over here. Anyway, guys, I think the biggest loss we've had with the White Pearl this split is that Baltasar is not in every single Twitch chat as I'm loading again. I was drinking water. I forgot that I have this mic. My bad, guys. We don't have Baltasar in every single stream writing some stupid shit, and we all love it. Baltasar, you're my MVP of the split, not gonna lie. You won't get an award today, I can spoil that, but I prefer you in... Oh, dude,
you're making Jesse feel something not even Shippex has made him feel, and good lord, that man is a glider, so you're doing God's work out here, Shrek, man.
True. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna stop reading now for the rest of this episode, see what we can do about it, and I mean, we've stalled enough now. It's time to go into these, how do you put it? How to go into these awards and hacks. Can you start us off? What have we been looking at when we've been doing these awards?
I mean, so we've looked at the best player of the split, but we've also been looking at kind of the best teams, like a team of the split, so to say, that we've been looking at. And I mean, what we want at a place, we generally look at gameplay, but also look at like the general factors and the games. I mean, I've been casting a lot of the games, and we've had a little bit of discussion back and forth. We don't always agree, but trying to get like a complete player right in most of these awards, I would say. We also have some niche awards. I have one of my own that are like more to highlight certain players. Maybe they're not like specifically the goats of their role, but I feel like they deserve a shout out for some reason, right? I do what I want because it's our podcast. Haha. Stuff like that. But yeah, we have a few different awards. I think there are like 3 awards, right?
We have 4 awards because you're apparently not.
4.
Yes, so first off, I made an award just right now, and I've decided to give worst shit poster of this entire split to Steve-O. It's been anything but a blessing to see you write in shit post, and I hope you don't keep it up. Anyway,
Okay.
jokes aside, you have some takes sometimes that are good, but
On that note, I want Los Murdeveto to post more guys been scaling in shitpost.
yeah, but I think Los Murdereto has ended up not doing the best so far, so I don't think we'll be seeing much shitpost from Los Murdereto anymore. Maybe if they make like a Division 5, he can start winning games.
Okay, then Tolulu.
And then Trulule. I mean, he's at least in playoffs. Yeah, Los is a close follow-up, but I mean, he's out, so like, what does he have to shitpost anymore? Anyway, guys, we're gonna go to Team of the Swamp here, presented by our lovely graphic designer, Yesaya, my bad. And here we have it, right? Yes, so
There it is.
the team of the split we have decided for this regular season is none other than Assassin's Ingredient on the top lane, NoirTempest jungle, Barack Ogama paid himself to get the mid laner, Shippex as AD carry, and Local 69 for support. So, Axe, can you talk about some of these picks? Maybe top and jungle first.
I mean, Yodi. So if you look at Assassin's Creed, they have great players, right? But they are not all the most, I would say, consistent. Like Trouble Bubble has extremely high highs and also some lower lows. Similar, I think, with their bot lane, I Want Leash and Delph. It's like they have very high highs, bit lower lows. It's like they're more volatile, right? And I think Yodi has a really high consistent level. Like obviously, as any player, you go up and down, but Yodi's consistent level is extremely high. So I think that is why he deserves the spot. He can carry games, he can play weak side, but he has such a high average level compared to every other top player. He's just the GOAT, basically. The closest second follow-up, I would say, as like Honor mentioned, is Usu. Which
Yeah,
is
I've
like
heard this God of Hacks guy is pretty good. Like, he was locked for this team, but then Benjamin happened, so maybe Jordi should just thank Benjamin for this Team of the Swamp. NoirTempest, he's been pretty cool to watch. Lots of aggressiveness. We will be saving a little bit about NoirTempest. Barack Ogama, as I said, paid me $40 under the table. I had to get in on the team. He has insane KDA, at least he's good at something. Shippex, Axe, you played against him. It didn't seem like it's overly fun to play against Shippex times.
I mean, it's fun for me. Shippex is nothing, bro. Benji, though. God damn, Jesus Christ, man. I'll play against Shippex any day as long as I don't have to play against Benjamin.
Did you know that Benjamin is Shippex's brother?
Yes. His younger brother, right? I think.
Probably his older brother.
I actually don't know. I'd rather face that brother than the other one.
True. When do we get the third brother here?
The third brother in the jungle.
Finally, Loco 69 has just been class act once again. He's one of the best players of SLE in the all time, and this split has been nothing but a showcase of that. So, with that in mind, this is our Team of the Swamp. There were some good contenders like Kim Jensen that Hacks had on every single team. And we are actually going to have a surprise interview here. I told you I had prepared something. Hacks, you've been a big fan of this guy this entire split. Can you talk me through a little bit? Why NoirTempest? Why do you like NoirTempest so much?
I feel like if you take the team of Black Flag Sailors, it's like it's just full on chaos, plus minus Pharaoh kind of chilling in the bot lane, but the rest of them are just chaos, right? And then you have this guy who's just mechanically skilled, always following up on these plays or starting these plays for Denser and Liner specifically, which kind of is like makes the chaos like suit against like organized chaos. I don't know. I just love it. His gameplay is very dynamic compared to most other junglers in the league, which I just love to see.
Yes, perfect. So I hope NoirTempest is ready. Perfectly is. I will be dragging him over here. And hello, NoirTempest. Welcome to the stream. You have just been awarded the best jungler of the Swamp this split. How's your feeling around this split overall?
I didn't expect it at all. I'm gonna be honest, because especially the last weeks we struggled a lot as a team overall. But yeah, I think our team still can manage to take a spot if we get back up again. So of course it's an honor.
Yes, I mean, you've had an incredibly individual good split, I would say, like from the start of the split. I mean, even to the end, as you say, Black Flag has maybe lost a little bit of that early steam, but what I'm most impressed about is your early game. It feels like you're always looking for plays, and a lot of teams just don't really do that, and at least that's what makes me stand out. Like, what are your like general feelings going into like a game like? Because it kind of feels like you're more of a playmaker.
Well, yeah, I mean I like to play assassins a lot. Sadly, they aren't that good in competitive play, but that's where my early fun comes from, I would say. And in general, I think we as a team we really shine in those early moments because we are best at taking a lead and then making it bigger and bigger and bigger just by forcing play after play, which most teams, if we do play it good, can't even react to, as we saw, for example, in the series against Assassin and Greed or Gucci, which we
Wacky rates.
Wacky Race first game, of course, example. But the downside is what's been happening in this last few weeks. If we do not manage to pull off those plays, it's really, really hard to recover from an early loss. So yeah, I think this is just our general playstyle, and I personally love this playstyle, so I really bloom in it.
I mean, like you say, like that's the fun part about your team, and also the thing that really attracts people. I think it's like this early game dynamic. It's rough, right? Because it relies on you being able to outskill every team in the early game, and if you can't do that, it's like rough. But when you're able to do it, the entire game is kind of in your own tempo. Like you dictate the entire pace of the game, and it looks very very dominating when you do win. Like that Vaca race game is probably one of the most dominating performances I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we are rather unique with that playstyle. I haven't seen another team in the SLE pull it off just as much or as good in quotes like we do when we manage to outscale our enemies.
Yeah.
I mean, it does kind of look like Ragnarok you played yesterday. Kind of look like I watched the same team play from each side that game. Because I think the first game, as you said, you guys were up like 17-2 in kills at like 12 minutes. Then I go to the next game and it's like 17-2 in kills to Ragnarok instead. So I do get what you mean. It's been a very aggressive and fun playstyle to watch.
Yeah, it's kind of like coin flip at the start, you know. And since we have our currently downs in our whole team, it's much harder to pull it off this playstyle and actually win games. But I think if we manage to pull back, we already showed it. I think not even the winners of the split EB could handle us if we were at our best.
That is probably true. I have a question though, because typically, I think Pharaoh gets to handle the receiving part from the enemy team, right? So
Yeah, most likely.
how do you console Pharaoh after he's 0-3 and has no tower? Just curious. How does he take it?
Actually, there are some games where it's just crazy because we force our plays topside and then we just press tab to look at our bot side and our AD carry is 000 but has a bounty because he has most CS in game and it's crazy. But of course there are those other games where it doesn't work that well, where the enemy do answer our topside plays on bot side. But we try to give him his most comfort ADCs, which are most of the time are really safe ADCs as well. He likes to play Ezreal, for example, which is probably the most safe AD carry. He can just always E out and he's done. So we always try to enable this defensive playstyle for him on bot lane. And he actually knew what he was getting himself into. So when we designed the team, or when Linus more specifically designed the team, everyone knew Linus was a top lane bruiser, top kinda guy, no? And so it was kind of obvious. And Pharaoh just joined us a little bit later. We started off with Krishy. So Pharaoh even had games with us before he officially was a real part of the team. But he enjoyed it, and so he kind of signed up for the weak side suffering on bot lane. But yeah,
he likes the challenge.
I assume he would be a Souls-like player or something. I don't know.
Okay, so he's a kind of bit like you, Hacks, not gonna lie.
It's a bit like me. I respect.
So,
like
NoirTempest, I don't know if you've been watching our podcast, anything, but we have this segment called Fraud Alert, and I thought that since you're gonna only be here for a little bit more, but I thought the playoffs is coming up. Like, do you think there's like a fraud team in these playoffs? Like, do you see any of these teams that you believe like, nah, these guys are not it. They're just lucky they're even in playoffs, you know?
Well, depends on if you're gonna ask me about a serious answer or a shit talk answer.
Well, I think the shit
Can we
talk
have
would be
both?
way better than the serious, but you can do both if you want to.
The shit talk answer would obviously be Valkyrie refs, just because we keep on shit talking each other, and it's been going on for like the whole time. But real frauds, I think I have to say Black Lotus. As much as this hurts me, because we are sanctuary teams, both of us. But I feel like they are, if I compare them to some other teams, like for example, even Wacky Revs or EB, they are just lacking a lot. And but it will be really interesting to see how they pull up against Eternal Blizzard, because I think they can actually pull something off.
Yes, I do think they
yeah,
can pull off the shortest series in SLE of all time, but that is more than expected. I really like that honesty in your answer. Evacuates, Black Flag, Sailors. I'm looking at the schedule, and it seems that we might have a Sanctuary Derby already in the second round of playoffs. So, you guys, before I let you go, you are playing against Silver Phoenix this week. I don't think a time has been decided yet. So, what are your thoughts going into this matchup? Like, what can we expect from the Black Flag Sailors? Because you guys are coming in as a favorite, I would say, into this Silver Phoenix lineup.
Well, I really think it depends on our form at that specific day, because it could easily be a 2-0 Storms in both ways, I think. But I hope we do pull it off, and I believe in our team.
Yes, I have faith in the Black Flag Sailors. Let's go! I'll be there to watch for sure.
Yes, I think as long as you can keep Linus off the Forge and Minecraft, it's probably gonna be solid. Anyways, NoirTempest, thank you so much for joining us here for this quick interview. Do you have anything you want to shout out or anything you want to mention before we move on to the next segment?
Well, first of all, thanks for inviting me, and I wish you a really good podcast. I hope the other guests are as good as I am. No, just kidding. That was some shit talk.
It's good. We enjoy that. We like that.
Yes, I mean, perfect. We've seen you are with the biggest fraud in SLE in the top lane, so like you're doing a good job, NoirTempest. Let's see how far you can carry Linus. Thank you very much for joining you, and best of luck in this upcoming week versus Silver Phoenix.
Thank you, thank you.
So, Hacks thinks they have a good chance against Eternal Blizzard. I can't do anything but agree with them. Like Eternal Blizzard, probably the biggest fraud team in the league.
They win with 100%.
Yes, with that in mind though, Hacks, do you have anything finishing on this Team of the Swamp? I feel like we've covered most of it. Is there anything you feel like needs to be explained?
No, I feel like we covered most of everything, and I feel like we've talked about some of these players before already, so I don't think there's too much to fill in. I mean, I think it's kind of. I don't think anyone has much to say against this list of players. I haven't seen anything in the chat either, so I think we're kind of fine.
No, it's just Linus calling me out for calling him a fraud, but like, I mean, the guy's insane at Minecraft. I'll give him that at least. Okay, guys, so that was the Team of the Swamp. We are not done though just yet. We have another award before we even move into the MVP, which everyone is waiting for. And Hacks, can you describe this new award that you come up with?
Oh, it's a new award. Okay.
No, it's not that new. No, not that new award. The one I'm hovering with the mouse, not the
Okay,
not the
new
weird one.
The old one, the real one. Okay. I mean, this is just the all-around best performing player of these players. I mean, is this a new award? How is this a new award?
Oh, sorry, I misclicked the unmute my. Well, I mean,
This is the all-around best player.
of course, it's the
in
newest
split.
award. Like we've never done a podcast before, have we?
Okay, copyright TM. No one has seen this award before. So this just describes the all-around best player in the regular splits, like the player who has performed the best on all levels and also like on average throughout all of the games, I would say.
Yes, and
So the MVP.
no, it's not the MVP. It's
Okay,
the
sorry,
best
it's not the
player.
MVP.
The reason we made this award is because I'm so tired that every time voting comes around, we have the same discussion in general. What action is the MVP and what is the best player? Like, MVP is the most valuable player and best player is the best player. Okay, guys, I'm glad we could put that other. So, for this award, we have gotten sponsored by Lord Farquaad, and he has picked his best player of this split together with me and Hacks, and it's none other than a very, very familiar face for most of the SLE people, and it's none other than Loco64. Congratulations, you are Lord Farquaad's best player of the split, and just like we had with NoirTempest, we have Loco64 is gonna join us for a quick interview here about how he feels with this award, most likely. So, hello, Loco. Can you hear me over in Norway?
Hello, yeah, I can.
Alright, perfect. So, Loco, we've just awarded you Lord Farquaad's best player. I think everyone knows you've had kind of a banging split. How has the split felt for yourself? Like, you've been in 4 SLE splits so far, I think? 4 or 3? So,
Yeah, this is my fourth one.
yes. How does this one feel compared to the other splits you've been a part of?
I mean, it feels quite similar, to be honest. I really like the new format, though. That's like the best thing, I think. But outside of that, I think this one rivals my season 2 run, and when I won it with Gucci, in terms of like team and atmosphere, and yeah.
Wait, the atmosphere was that bad back in Gucci? Damn, I'm sorry, man. So, I mean, you've been through a lot. You've had yet another, the best split in SLE. Most people call Sovonix the GOAT. Do you believe that if you win this split, or will you be the GOAT of SLE then?
I mean, I better fucking be, what? I mean, the only one that's won 3 times, no?
That is true. That is indeed true. I mean, Shiki has a final in there, so maybe he should also be in the conversation, don't you think?
He also won it with Hacks and Shiki this time. So, I mean, gotta give him respect where he's due, no?
No, but in seriousness, I think I'd probably be the GOAT. But it's gonna be difficult to win, but I hope so.
Yes, we have covered already the games for you guys this week, but I want to lift something, the Poppy support. Like, we've been seeing, you have some spicy pick, we also have some less spicy picks. Like, Is there any picks like the Poppy that we can expect in the playoffs? Like, will we see a bit more of the cooking loco, or what loco do you think we'll see in the playoffs?
I mean, hopefully I can cook a bit against like the shitty teams, but I do like when I draft, I do prefer to draft well rather than spice, but yeah. Maybe I can allow myself to do a bit spicy when we play against some that's not that good.
Yes, yes, yes. And as the regular season winner, you just mentioned shitty teams. Like, what teams would you consider that are the shitty teams in the playoffs? Is there any team you just believe that doesn't deserve to be here in playoffs and will just be a free win for Eternal Bliss, or is that every single team in SLE?
It's most of them, I think, but if I were to mention some, I'd probably say, I mean, our next opponent is probably going to be the easiest game we have so far.
Is it
Black
even
Lotus.
is it even easier than facing Shiki with only 5?
Yeah, maybe not, but it's going to be around the same level, I think.
Okay, perfect. Loco said it here first. We can expect a 2-0 this weekend between Black Lotus and EB. A lot of Black Lotus lander today, Hax. Not gonna lie, was not expecting this. Hax, do you have any question for your support here? You don't really get this many chances to talk with him.
To ask my support. Oh, a question to my support. Is there? Oh, I can't figure out. What is the team? Since you've mentioned most teams are free, what
Yeah.
would be the team you are the most scared of? And I don't want to hear Diamond Vitagen because you won one.
I mean, I'm not scared of any team, but I think a team that could potentially take one game from us is Wacky Raids. And maybe Gucci.
So a little bit of respect to Wacky, even though that's interesting.
And bro, he
I
said
feel like
one
we've been
game.
hearing a lot of we've been hearing a lot of Wacky slander, no? So it's interesting to hear Loco say that he thinks Wacky could take a one-gun game after hearing Noir pop off on the Sanctuary squad.
Yes, so me and Hax, we usually have prepared some hot takes. I'm not gonna give you the fraud alert. We've already run that segment. I already know you're gonna call 15 teams in this league frauds, and
Yeah.
if you've done the math, there's 16 teams left. So I think you can figure out which team is not fraudulent. With that in mind, a hot take that I have prepared is none other than. Wait, I forgot it now. Oh no.
Oh no.
No, I'm just kidding. The hot take is that Elrat is a better support than you, Loco. What is your opinions? Because we saw Elrat took home team of the split here, regular split on the SLE side from Linus,
Yeah.
and you took it home here at the Shrekman's podcast. Which statement do you believe to be most true?
I mean, if he ever manages to win against me, I'll call him the better support.
Okay.
But
Has he ever taken
I'm not
a game
sure
against
if he's
you?
done it yet.
Have you lost
So-
a game to Elrat?
No, I'm not. I don't know. I don't remember it at least.
Yes, I don't actually. Okay, do you? Okay,
Oh, except actually maybe last time in season 3. But yeah, no, I mean I don't think he's the better support.
do you believe you got kind of robbed in the end by Linus in this awards?
Yeah, but Linus roasts me all the time, so.
Yeah, that is true. I've heard that Linus prefers Shikiorin out of every single player in SLE. That's just what I've heard rumors of. With that in mind, Loco, you've already talked about how easy this playoffs will be. So
Yeah.
I have prepared another question that I might have just remembered. And who do you think will be the biggest challenge? Any of the other SLE teams or IFX PC?
You know, every time we play a series, I'm scared that IFX will suddenly just disappear. So that might actually be my.
But Babak has a pass macro now.
He has a what?
He has a pause macro
What is a pause macro?
Oh,
to pause the game. After I don't know, remember which series. I remember Baruch was like, "Damn, I'm the fastest now on pausing the game." Yeah, they're ready at all times. It's that mid jungle synergy, you know. We're working on an EB.
but I mean, last time we had to actually forfeit the fucking game because he's PC.
Oh yeah. Damn, I'd suppress
And we
that
had to use
memory.
2 subs, so yeah.
Yeah, maybe
rough.
we hope for that to not happen in the playoffs. So, Loco, thank you so much for joining us here. Do you have anything you want to shout out or mention in the end, or just overall happy with everything that's come out of here? Considering, I mean, you are on a team with Eternal Blizzard again, and it seems that you have a better chance this time around now that top laner hasn't quit just yet, at least.
Yeah, my jungler hasn't ghosted me, and my top laner hasn't quit the game, so that's pretty good. It's looking good so far, at least. I still have Shiki's AD, so
Yeah, but that was
it's
the
not all
50
it's not
rules.
all good, but we'll deal with it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Loco. Congratulations on winning this insane award from Lord Farquaad. Some might
Thank you.
even say you're the first winner, and I wish you all the best in this upcoming series against Black Lotus. And from what I understood from you, anything but a 2-0 would be kind of a disaster.
Yes, definitely.
Perfect. With that in mind, we're gonna say goodbye to Loco. What an interview, Hacks. Are you expecting Eternal Blizzard to be having as free of a playoff run as Loco is?
I mean, depends on if the top laner starts winning the Gwen Shogath matchup, but beyond that, I think we're kind of chilling.
Damn, I was hoping you would talk a bit longer so I could finish drinking my water. Anyway,
Unlucky. Now everyone here, you loaded that gun up.
they did?
Everybody in
No, I think
chat?
I muted in time this time.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I actually don't know either.
Can
so
chat confirm? Can chat
chat can
confirm?
confirm. Definitely, we haven't gotten a single answer because I put it on slow mode 4 hours. Anyway, we've had some spicy. Black Lotus is getting a lot of slander here, Hacks. Do you think Black Lotus is deserving this slander? Do they deserve to be in playoffs?
I mean, I love my boys on BLE. Like, me and Gloomy, we're chilling, you know? Like, I love my boys on BLE. But, I mean, they also did... like, I don't know. I don't keep track of... I can't count, obviously. I mean, I play Galagas only. I'm permanently drunk. But they did, apparently, as far as I'm aware, like, kind of slide in somehow. And I don't really know how that worked. But people I know have been like... yeah, they don't... There are a lot of people who think there's, like, maybe other teams who deserve it more or less. I don't know. I think they are a team that are dynamic. They have some things they do well, but they do also have a lot of stuff they need to work on. So it's not all underserved, although I'm surprised we're getting this large amount of BLE slander.
I am
A
not
little bit.
surprised at all. I heard that when you filled in for Scrim for them, you were very impressed by their gameplay. So I'm looking forward to seeing a very hype matchup between you and the Black Lotus. With that in mind, Hacks, it's time for you to present your own made award that you are very proud of. And okay, just start talking, man. Why are we calling it the grower of the split?
Grow. It's scalar grower, man. It sounds so weird. Okay, look, the point of the award is that when you start the league, you will obviously have players that are extremely well decorated, right? We always bring up the well decorated players, and we usually take into account
Like
what
the
do you call it?
overrated Dutch.
Exactly. So SLE recognition, like the Loco, you have JL, like people have won, always gets put a bit higher. And I wanted the opposite award. I wanted the players who are more new to the league, and also specifically players who people typically wouldn't have high expectations of, either because of rank or performance or whatever. And I wanted an award for these players who grow during the split, because I think it's an underrated concept of the players that actually improve a lot during the split. That's why it's called grower, because they grow during the split.
Okay, I thought
That's
you were
the reason
mentioning something else. Okay, perfect. Now that you say it that way, it makes a lot more sense. I still don't agree with the grower of the split name, but you do you. And with that in mind, Hacks, who is Donkey's grower of this split?
So the grower of the split is someone you all know well. Although I will say to defend myself from chat, because I swear everyone's gonna call me out on the fact that he gapped me. I decided on this the 29th of March. So I did this before he gapped me. I actually predicted him gapping me. Maybe it was bad actually to give it to him. Maybe it made him gap me even harder. I don't know.
All I'm hearing is a lot of a copium angle here. This guy beats you so hard that you have to give him a award to make
No,
yourselves not look like shit.
I did it before. What the fuck?
I mean, I have a DM here from you that from yesterday where you said, okay,
No.
Benjamin is the grower of the split.
Dude, not yesterday. What is for 29? I see it, bro. Being black framed by the CIA, man.
Okay, so can you
Oh,
talk me
yeah.
through why is Benjamin the grower of the split?
Because Benjamin, when you came in and you looked at the Vintage squad, you thought that if you look at Wobblebonk, I think Wobblebonk is exactly the average or a bit over. You have JI, obviously well-known player, good jungler. In the SLE, you have Shippex, their star ADC. You also have Yessi, which made it a very deep last split with Vitagen. And I think, I don't know the exact history, but I think he's played on other teams in the past as well. So you have 4 players, like 3 who are very well known, and you know they are like good. And the mid laner who has a high elo, and they're already kind of over the elo cap or the average. So the person who would like take the elo hit, so to say, would be the top laner, right? So people had extremely low expectations for Benjamin. But he's been performing in many different series across the split, and he also performs his role on the team. Obviously, he's not like a Yodi. He won't super carry games on Aatrox or do stuff like that, but he has definitely grown during the split and improved, and I also think he performs his role on that team very well. I would compare him in a way to Case Mace.
Just in the fact that he solo killed you on Cho'Gath like 4 times.
I have actually never played Case Mace.
You've never
So-
played Case Mace, and you're comparing the great Benjamin to Case Mace.
Okay, sorry. Who do you want to put higher or what? The Case Mace higher or Benjamin? I don't understand.
No, I don't know. You tell me, man. Like you're the one that created an award to cope so that you would look a little bit less worse while
No, I
getting
didn't-
solo killed by a platinum player. But like,
I'm not coping. No, I did it before.
it's okay, man. Like, what's next? You're gonna get solo killed by Linus, or
But I'm
do we
not
have-
doing any more. I'm not doing any more awards, so I'm gonna never lose again.
Well, Hacks, I have good news for you. I have brought on a special guest just for you to talk to. I did not tell you this beforehand, but Benjamin, we have you here on hand. Hello,
Oh my
how are
God.
you today?
I'm fine.
How does it feel to be the biggest grower of the split?
I mean, it kind of makes sense, no? I play Shogun, I grow through the game, I don't know.
I'm true, actually.
Yes, that is true. So, can you talk me through a bit, like, what happened in this game where you played against God of Hacks?
I mean, I did get solo killed like early on, I think. And then he missed one opportunity, I remember, because I dodged like half of his R's, 2 or 3 or something. But I don't know. I get a lot of MR, and I think I outplayed a few fights too. I don't know.
I mean, it's like, well, you played a lot of top laners this split. Like, I saw you had a bit of a tough time against Case Mace this weekend. Would you say that God of Hacks is one of the worst top laners you played so far?
I mean, probably could have, but I don't have good enough a memory to remember, honestly. So, but I think it's like fine. I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
okay at
Benny's
best,
on top,
right?
dude.
I get smashed as hard of almost everyone. I don't know. As long as I survive laning phase, I'm fine.
Yes, that is indeed true. And the only reason it's not the only reason I brought you over here to make Hax be sad here, because Hax has been crying himself to sleep the last 3 days thinking about these solo kills. But you are playing Invited and Diamond, and it fits kind of perfectly to have the brother combination attack in our podcast at the same time as. It's kind of weird to say that the biggest grower of the split is kind of related to the MVP of the swamp, and this year it will be Shippex. So before we bring Shippex over here, Benjamin, do you believe that Shippex deserves MVP?
Yes, for sure.
Oh, this was not the
I mean,
brotherly
if-
answer I was expecting.
I mean, I could have said something else, but I think it's totally wrong, I guess, because our whole playstyle is kind of around them. So I don't know.
I mean, don't you think your team would be better if you played around Shogi top instead? Like, you are solo killing God of Fraud of Hacks.
Yeah, but I mean, Shogef is a trash amp. I don't know what to say.
Okay, so
You can't play around the
Yeah, dude.
Shogef, then you just insta-lose.
that is true.
Shit.
So we are gonna bring over Shippex as well, Benjamin. You can stay around if you want to. You can leave if you want to. You can do whatever you want because you've already taken all our hearts, solo killing hacks 3 times, and you've given me the perfect content to shit talk him for the rest of his life. Anyway, Shippex, you are the MVP of the split. I'm sorry for dragging you over without warning you. Are you here with us?
I am here indeed.
Right, perfect. How does it feel to be MVP of the split?
It feels good. Feels good. I mean, shout out to my team. Shout out to my weak side Ubu top laner and my Ubu support, obviously. Playing Lulu every game.
Yes.
So,
I have a question for you two, though. I have played with your jungler before in a team.
mhm.
And as we know, he's currently permabanned in the SLE from talking in Twitch streams.
Yeah.
Has he ever mentioned the word illegals or monkeys while you guys are scrimming or playing a game?
It might have happened once or twice. Maybe.
But maybe has he gotten any new words that he communicates with?
I mean, there is a new word that has gone around the SLE server recently. Can I say it on stream? That is the question.
Does it start
It's-
with or does it have anything to do with a rope?
It has something to do with the rope.
Okay,
yeah.
I think we're gonna stop it at that part. Then, okay, so Yesaya is telling me second game yesterday. How was that? You guys had a pretty rough series yesterday. Can you talk me through the games between you guys played both Vacuurates and Eternal Blizzard this weekend? Probably one of the hardest matchups you could have had maybe in one weekend. Like, what are your thoughts on those two matches?
Yeah, I mean, we got a bit exposed for not practicing, I think, against Regi Rays. Like, we have probably not scrimmed in a month, and they just had, like, better team fundamentals than us, I think. And it showed. I mean, me, Jesse, and JI also played, like, 3 series. Like, we played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's a lot as well. So, I mean, by the Sunday, we're also... I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I'm pretty tired.
Of your top laner, jungler, or just the game?
It can be both, no?
Yeah, it can be both, definitely. So, I understand that you guys have had pretty good start, I would say. Like, I think you ended up 11-5. I think that's a pretty solid. And how do you feel like your individual split has been? Because, as your brother said earlier, a lot of the gameplay has revolved around you, even though I believe the Shogun maybe should be played around more. And why do you think that it's worked so good for most of this split, at least?
I mean, it's important to play around the player that actually uses the resources that is given to him.
Are you saying that
I think-
Benjamin doesn't use his resources?
I think most players in SLE don't use the resources very well if they're played for. I think
Okay,
that goes
good
for
dodge.
almost every ADC. I think it also goes for almost every top laner, yeah, including my brother. He is not the carry top laner. Like, he has not played that style before. He's also never played in a team before, so it's very hard to go into a team and instantly start playing carries.
That is indeed true.
Yeah.
But how do you feel like, why are you able to pull this off when you say that most people aren't? Like, because when I watch your games, I see like usually quite of a big difference. Like, I'm not saying that you're solo carrying these games, because I think that would be unfair to your team. But you
Mhm.
are usually like the main person doing the most damage, and maybe you've had some happy games, but I feel like if you don't do good, your team has a tendency of maybe not winning.
I mean, my mid laner can definitely carry games. He has carried some games. I don't think he's carried any games on stream, which is why people don't know. But I also I like to say sometimes that ADCs needs to not be scared of doing damage. Like, a lot of ADCs are so scared of making mistakes that they just end up doing no damage, and that's kind of like my motto, I guess, the way I play. So as you can see, if you ever watch me, is that I will be a bit of a psychopath with my positioning. I'll be up there, right? And
Yep.
I also will trust my support a lot. Like, if I play against a rel, I'll trust them to like ult the rel knock up. Like that's the way I play. I trust my teammates.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, that has worked out very well. I know Jesse was very angry yesterday about a certain Seraphim pick, apparently, but other than that, it looks like you guys have very good synergy. And I want to, before we let you both go, I think it was you the guys that had to go play football as well?
I am playing soccer later. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we gotta wrap this one up real quick then before I get some Norwegian agents calling me for taking up all your time. If you got to list 2 players in this split, you can pick whatever. Like, who is there? Has there been any players that you have been impressed by so far?
I've been impressed by Strophic, the ADC of Eris. I think he's a psychopath, but he also can carry games pretty hard. Secondly, I think Loco has impressed me as well. I think every time I watch him play, I'm impressed. Like, his engage champions are really good. And yeah, I didn't expect there to be any good supports in this league except for Jesse, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Loco and Jesse are usually the 2 standouts, so I agree with you on that. Looking ahead for playoffs, both you and Benjamin, like, what are you expecting from Vitage and Diamond? Do you guys believe you will take it all home, or are you still quite a far bit away from that as of right now?
You want to start, Benny?
Sure. I think with some more practice, we can for sure give up a good fight, potentially win. Honestly.
Is there any particular team you're scared of, Benjamin? I mean, to be fair, you said you didn't have the memory, but
I just have to remember like the last 3 matches further beyond. Even if I get smashed, I honestly don't remember. So I think Wacky Raids was for sure this team that looks the scariest. Maybe it's just because we just got smashed by them, but
yeah, that Tom Kenshin to Kisante matchup did not look overly fun. I'm not gonna be.
I mean, I think we just griefed one of the fight too, and I didn't play the best. But like when he got the Quadra, the game was just over. I felt
Yeah,
like.
don't worry. I've lost to the Quadra kill on Case Mace before. It just happens randomly, and you sit there and you're not overly happy either.
Yeah.
Shippex, what about you? What are your expectations going into playoffs? Like, can we expect you guys to take it all home?
If we get our shit together, I think the only team that can match us is probably EB. Looking at the players individually, I think that they're the only one that can match us. I mean, Rocky Rays beat us because they played as a team and we did not. So I mean, they're definitely a solid team. I think Yin, solid roster as well, but I do think Eternal Blizzard is the only team that I'm worried about if we manage to fix our shit.
Is there any team you're looking forward to play or hoping you guys will play?
I would love to play Solaris Ares if the GOAT Stevo is subbing. Gotta shut him up a bit.
Yes.
It's a bit too much yapping.
Can we see a farming Senna in that game?
You will definitely see a farming Senna and a Nautilus in the bot lane, indeed.
Right, perfect. It's been lovely to have you 2 brothers on this podcast. I'm hoping that next split we can have a third one also join us. We're probably gonna have to figure out a new award though to get you all in here. But good luck both of you with the rest of the split. Thank you very much for joining us today, and good luck, Shippex. It seems that chat is a bit angry that you called football soccer. So best of luck dealing with Linus after this. That's all I'll say.
Thanks.
Anyway, guys, have a good day.
You too.
And I'll see you later. Okay, God of Hacks, we had a little bit. You got to face your biggest enemy. How did it feel to be in the presence of Benjamin?
I mean, I've been starstruck the entire time. What do you mean? That's my idol right there. That's the guy I look up to in top lane now. Like, what?
Oh, I thought it was the guy you saw in your nightmares and in your sleep.
No, it's my next idol to look up to.
Okay.
So I've been a bit starstruck here, a bit silent.
So, guys, this has actually run a lot longer than I thought it would. We are already 50 minutes into the episode. Hacks, we have to wrap this one up quickly. So, allow me to wrap this one up. We are going to show the playoff bracket here we have our first round already confirmed. Eternal Blizzard will be taking on Black Lotus. Dude, I still don't understand. Are they called the Villain or DVN Infinity? Like, do you know what they're called?
I think they're called the Villain.
Why is it an Infinity there then?
I don't know.
Or maybe they have other teams.
I
Okay,
just call him the Villain.
yes, let's call him the Villain. The Villain is taking on Ragnarok. Assassins and Greed will be facing Shakabantu. Vitagen Diamond versus Dangerous Game. Baki Raids versus Vitagen Pearl. BFS will be playing Silver Phoenix. Good Shield will step on the snakes, and Solaris will take on Slimmod. So all of these games will be best of threes. Is there any game you are looking forward, particular aside from your own game?
I think Wacky Raves versus Vitagen will be interesting. I think they play kind of similar styles, so I think there will be like a clash of the same style, right? The fight of who performs the same style better in my mind. So I definitely look forward to that series. I think Vitagen Diamond versus DG might be interesting because I think DG are just a massive wild card.
Oh, I've heard that DG is imploding as we speak, but we hope they can survive for a game on Sunday.
If they survive, maybe interesting. I don't know. Beyond that, I mean, I'd say Assassin versus Shakabantu. Beyond those two games.
Perfect. So before we head off, can we get a prediction for Eternal Blizzard versus Black Lotus? What are you expecting from this game?
I mean, we're better 2-0, or otherwise I think we're disbanding.
Okay, perfect here. It's gonna be fun to talk with you next week when you're teamless, even though you guys aren't out just yet. We'll be in the loser bracket by then. I'm really looking forward to Vacuum Race versus Vitagen Pearl. It's gonna be fun to see if they can finally get their stuff together, Vitagen Pearl. But I feel like we've been coping that this entire split, so thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm sorry for the mic quality. We've had some lovely guests on today. Next week, we will be going back to our normal format where we have one or two guests just for the entire episode. Play some fun games, but we wanted now with the awards, just let some people speak about the playoffs and get you guys hyped. And I also wanted Hacks to face his fears because, man, you gotta be feared or very scared if you're creating an award just to cope with the fact of history. Anyway, Hacks, what are you gonna be up to for the rest of the week?
I mean, maybe I'll lay in bed, cry a bit. We'll see. But other than that, I don't know. Maybe print a picture of Benny. Try to look at it.
I mean, Benjamin maybe isn't real. Maybe it can't hurt you.
I think actually I'm gonna take down my walls to find out if Benny is actually in my walls, because I think there might be a chance he's there. You know those things, when you leave the room and there comes these invisible tiny gnomes and they take your drink and they spit in it and then they walk away, but you can never catch them even if you have a camera.
I don't think I've ever heard of this.
No, but that's what I'm scared of. I think Benny's doing that to me right now. I think he's supersonicing in and out of my room. So yeah, I'm gonna set up cameras possibly.
Alright, perfect. Sounds lovely, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. I'll be spamming Veigar mid because that's the only fun champion in this game. This has been Shrekman and Donkey. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We will be back to the normal things next week. If you have any ideas, hit me up in DMs. And next week, I can tell you we will be having a moderator as a guest and maybe another shit poster not named Steve-O because that guy is never getting on here. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys next week, Monday the... What date is it next week? Monday the 15th at 19 CEST, because I think it's summertime now, because that's at least on my sleep schedule feed. Have a good one. Shrekman and the Donkey are now out for this week.